Riverdale has a devoted fan base that is outraged by the show's recent cancellation and the news that 7 seasons of the teen drama will be the last. There was a supernatural twist at the end of season 6, and fans are eager to see what's next for the Netflix show and how it all ends. Now, stay tuned for everything you need to know about the upcoming and final season. Firstly, Riverdale season 7 is coming, so here's everything you need to know. Here's everything we know about Riverdale's upcoming 7th season of Riverdale, which is set to premiere in 2023. And here's everything we know so far. The psychological teen drama based on Archie comics premiered in 2017. It stars a young ensemble cast including KJ Apa as Archie Andrews, Lily Reinhardt as Betty Cooper, Madeline Petch as Cheryl Blossom, Camille Mendez as Veronica Lodge, and Cole Sprouse as Jughead Jones. Now, Riverdale season 6 brought a new wave of storylines to the show as the characters gained superpowers. This was an attempt at a crossover involving Kiernan Shipka's Sabrina Spellman from the popular Netflix show The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Cheryl Blossom, in particular, developed new pyrokinesis superpowers, allowing her to control fire with her mind. So we know that Riverdale, along with the fellow CW shows, was renewed for a 7th season in March, and it was also confirmed that season 7 will be the series finale. And following the CW's current strategy of canceling shows such as Charmed, Batwoman, Dynasty, 4400, and DC's Legends of Tomorrow. But unlike many of these shows, Riverdale will be given the opportunity to wrap up all of its storylines in a fitting farewell season as one of the CW's current long-running series. So how did the last season end? Season 6 of Riverdale ended on a massive cliffhanger. No surprise there. The finale sent shockwaves through the show, which is certainly known for its crazy plot twists. We witness, after what appears to be a successful attempt by Cheryl to use her powers to stop Bailey's comet, Archie awakens in 1955 with no recollection of what happened before, and the gang appears to be living their happy lives in a simpler time. Only Jughead remembers what happened, as evidenced by his ever-present narration. Riverdale season 7 appears to pick up right where season 6 left off, with the residents of Riverdale living life in the 1950s in a Marty McFly fashion. So is there any release date set yet? Riverdale season 7 has yet to have an official premiere date. There's currently no indication that the season will be cut, so Riverdale will most likely conclude with a full season order of 22 episodes. Because filming has not yet begun, Riverdale season 7 could premiere in the middle of 23. And who will be in the cast? Given that Riverdale appears to be transported back in time, it stands to reason that majority of the gang would appear in 1955. Riverdale season 7 is expected to feature a return of KJ Apa, Lily Reinhardt, Camille Mendez, Cole Sprouse, and Madeline Petch, as well as Madchen Amick and Alvin Sanders. Trevor Steins, who played Jason Blossom, may also return as the events of the final season continue with his resurrection and initial death, which kicked off the series in season 1. Now, speaking of season 7, there's so many questions we need answered. It's almost time to say goodbye to the iconic town. Riverdale's 7th season will conclude in spring 23, after more than 5 years of some of television's most ridiculous storylines. But before they finished the last of Pop's milkshakes, the Riverdale crew has a massive mess to clean up. Over the years, the show has teased a plethora of will they won't they relationships, not to mention all the killer secrets, dead or alive mysteries, and the time-altering season 6 finale twist that seriously complicates things. Needless to say, Riverdale season 7 will have to answer a million questions. Firstly, is this the endgame for Barchi or Varchi? Season 6 worked hard to heighten the tension in the Barchi-Varchi love triangle. As things currently stand, Barchi has a clear advantage because Betty and Archie have been going strong since they reconnected in Riverdale, and they even got engaged in the season 6 finale. Veronica, on the other hand, is still in love with her ex furthermore. The 1955 reset effectively nullifies everything, so both Barchi and Varchi have a good chance in season 7, at least until everyone's memories are restored, and that had to happen eventually, right? Secondly, will the show return to its normal timeline? The big gimmick of season 7 is that the town has been transported back to the 1950s, with only Jughead remembering the future. It's currently unclear just how long the show will stay in the 1950s, but Riverdale wouldn't just throw out the previous 6 seasons and start over for its final season. Jughead's memories are a clear indication that everyone else will remember everything in time. Will the gang, however, be able to return to the present? The retro twist could be a nod to season 6 Riverdale event, which lasted only 5 episodes, or is it in fact the new normal? Now, is Hiram really dead? Each season of Riverdale introduces a new villain to terrorize the town, but the show's overall antagonist is Hiram Lodge. Veronica's mobster father has been responsible for pretty much everything bad that has happened to Archie and his friends, and it just wouldn't feel right to end the show without him. Hiram was supposed to die in season 6 when Veronica hired a hitman to take him out, but we never saw the killing, and the only confirmation of his death was the shady hitman telling Veronica the job was done over the phone. I mean, Hiram can't possibly be dead, can he? Will Betty finally give in to the darkness since it's the final season? Betty's darkness has existed for as long as Riverdale has existed. Betty's internal conflict conflict has been the same throughout the series: embrace the light with Archie or succumb to her serial killer genres, which give her an impressive talent for solving crimes and tracking down bad guys. Although the dark path appears to be the wrong choice on paper, it's actually more complicated in the world of the show. Betty's darkness is also what makes her a fantastic FBI agent and a driven protective hunter of hunters. As Agent Drake puts it, it'll be fascinating to see where Betty ends up at the end of the series. Next up, is Bughead going to last? Bughead is the biggest threat to Barchie's endgame status. Betty's already been in a fan-favorite relationship with Jughead, and while it fizzled out after high school, there's a good chance that Bughead romance will be rekindled by the end of the show. However, Jughead's bond with Tabitha has grown so much stronger in recent seasons, and Jughead is the only person who remembers 1955, so there's no way he'd abandon Tabitha so quickly. And lastly, will Sabrina finally get a proper ending? Speaking of Sabrina, fans of her show are still hoping for a proper send-off for everyone's favorite Queen of Hell. The way chilling adventures of Sabrina killed her off in the series finale sparked outrage, and while she was able to return to Riverdale cameos, her story remains unfinished. Her most recent appearance at the end of season 6 revealed that she had been resurrected, but her love, Nick Scratch, is still trapped in Sweet Hereafter. It also didn't address any of the other Chaos characters, and since we know there was a full-on crossover event planned prior to Chaos's abrupt cancellation, Riverdale's final season could serve as the ideal way to give Chaos the end it deserved. Next up, an interesting fan theory about season 7 that potentially involves time travel. If you thought Riverdale couldn't surprise you anymore, it just happened. To cut a long story short, the city of Riverdale was able to survive a deadly comet that was heading towards it. To do so, the heroes needed to pool all of their abilities to fuel Cheryl, allowing her to destroy the comet. And she did, in a way, destroy the comet, but to say Riverdale will be the same is definitely wrong. Essentially, the comet reset the entire city, transporting the heroes back to the 1950s, reverting them to their adolescent years. And yes, we're talking about a time jump, and many fans are already speculating that a large portion of the upcoming season will take place in the 1950s. The showrunner, Roberto Aguirre Sacasa, stated that it was in much of a blank slate as the show could allow itself at this point, so mixing 50s high school nostalgia with a blank canvas for the characters makes a lot of sense. And they explained that they think it will be a half and a half season, with half set in 1950s and half set in the present. And now that the character has been pushed back in time, Roberto Aguirre Sacasa believes that many things, including the love triangles, may be reset. Aguirre Sacasa told EW that none of them, the characters, are in the deep, tortured relationships that we know and love with them, which opens up a slew of new possibilities. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Riverdale Season 7 and what you can expect from the final season of the show. Now make sure to let us know your thoughts down below, and as always, thanks for watching.